Welcome to the Watchmen Way. 1:23:20. Uh, I'm not selling anything. I don't charge any fees for anything I do. I don't monetize the videos. I don't accept donations. All's God asks is if you benefit from this, anything you learn here, you pay it forward. You pay it forward now to your friends, neighbors, relatives. You pay it forward through a rough patch we're headed into, and I'll talk about that in a minute. Helping people with extra food and water. And then through the recovery phase of what's coming, we help financially, however we can. And we've talked a little bit about that, and we'll talk more about that. We actually have a page on the website, which I post all over. You can find on the Watchmen page also, for like an idea, projects, for things that we want to focus on the other side of this thing. Already had some great ideas. I think it was Lisa was talking about buying property in Tennessee and putting a bunch of tiny houses on a property and for the homeless veterans. And I'm doing the same thing. I've got the same idea. It's funny how we all think alike. And a lot of other things that we'll talk about. God called me to do this work in 2014, although I consider myself semi-woke up in 1967. I was 12 years old. Realized the Catholic Church was corrupt and our government was corrupt, or elements in our government were corrupt, and contrary to what our founders intended. I grew up in the 50s and 60s, and they were having all these, I don't know how many Democratic political leaders we took out to replace with communist because they were going to be more business friendly. And you can look through history, time after time after time. Used to turn my stomach as a kid. Basically, what God called me to do was to warn about right now, the most current dangers we have, the things that are on us or were coming on us. First ever worldwide economic collapse, the draining of the worldwide swamp, the exposure of the satanic pedophile ring that runs the world, that includes former presidents of the United States, the royal family, and the Vatican. Do your homework. Epstein was running a honeypot. Look that up, see what it means. They have film on thousands of the most powerful people in the world doing these things that we'll talk about later. And then physical silver and Litecoin as a way to protect us through this economic crisis. And then in the recovery phase, God's come to me twice with direct messages. One was this, calling me to warn. The second time was just a couple of weeks ago. And that was, we've always said here, that on the other side of this, we're going to pay it forward, right? We were all just going to, on our own, just donate what we could, and hopefully we were going to be able to donate a lot, millions, hundreds of millions, I think. It's so, I feel stupid because it's so obvious. Jesus, when he was here 2,000 years ago, Jesus called his church, the church that he wanted us to have, the way. And it's really simple. That's the beauty of the way. It's about doing the right thing. It's about telling the truth, being honest, having some integrity, living your life in the service of others. No hierarchy, no priests, no bishops, no pope, no administration, no fees. We don't send donations to the Vatican in Italy. We take our donations and put them in the hands of the needy. It does a lot of things. Number one is it keeps our donations with the people that we live with, and it makes that connection, that human connection, that somebody cares about me enough to do this. You can't, just that feeling. It's like, I keep telling people, this is the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. It's the most rewarding thing I've ever done. And I wouldn't change it for the world. Everything I've been through the last 5 years, I would do over in a heartbeat. I would do it a little bit differently. But without I'm in. Snap call. I don't have to think about it. Because I understand not only upside to me and how it makes me feel, but to the world. Just think about this now. President Trump's on this. Whether you believe it or not, this swamp is going down this year before the election. The worldwide swamp is going down before the election. Get ready. Just think about that. What happens around the world if Obama and Clinton get arrested, plus many, 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 many more? There's 140,000 sealed federal indictments right now on the books. This is going down, and it's going down this year. Think about what happens. Think about what happens to the economy. I mean, President Trump tweets about the China deal, and they drop 300 points in like 15 minutes. What do you think's going to happen when they arrest Obama and Clinton? It's over. Stock market's done, and they all know it. The president, Russia, China, they all know this is coming. They're prepared for it. There's going to be some kind of a reset. It's going to be good in the long run. I hope they do it right off the bat. They don't mess around. They could try and fix the system. That's just going to lose us time. Hopefully, and President Trump's, listen, he hasn't made one bad call yet. And here we are on the finish line. We are on the finish line. That's how close we are. And hardly anybody knows that it happened. Think of the beauty of that. Because this is, if they would have known, really, listen, when President Trump took office, there were more globalists in our government than there were patriots. That's how dire the situation was. We were outnumbered horribly. The only thing that shifted it was what shifted it was having the power of the presidency. That's why they've been fighting so hard to get him out, because they know with that power, they're finished. If he just does his job, they're done, and he's doing way more than his job. They're finished. Nothing they do now can change this. They might get some kind of an attack off, kill a few thousand people, and, God forbid. But listen, when I started this 5 years ago, I didn't see a way. The cleanest way I saw we could get through this, we were still going to lose millions of people in America, just in America, and maybe millions, hundreds of millions around the world if it went worst case scenario. It's not going to go worst case scenario. I see it rolling straight through. Couldn't write a better script. That's how it's been so far. And like I said, I started at the beginning and we're at the finish line, and I can't believe it. I can't believe God that he could do this. Well, I mean, that he did do this, that it actually is happening. President Trump, you know, how do you beat God and President Trump? Oh wait, I mean you can't. It's listen. In 1967, when I saw this monsters of the Catholic Church and the USA government, deep state, how do you take that down? Because they were already so powerful you could see it if you were looking. And if there were more people looking back then, we probably wouldn't be at this point. That's why the Watchmen, our job has shifted now. We're still getting people red-pilled and prepped. But the shift is to the way. Spreading that word. I know I was going somewhere with this. Oh, and guys, just 10 months ago I had a hemorrhagic stroke. So sometimes I get lost in my thought process. Usually I get it back. So bear with me. And also the show too. The show is going to be evolving. If you've seen the last couple, this is kind of a work in progress. I've decided, and one of the main reasons was just for my own sanity, because I'm killing myself, was just to let God take the reins. And I'm following. And I'm going to talk about what he tells me to talk about every day. I'm not going to set the agenda. I'm going to let it come to me throughout the day instead of thinking about what I need to cover tonight. I'm just going to let God handle it. And so who knows? I don't know where it's going to take me. I don't know how far the range is. And we have a big range anyway, guys. We'll really talk about anything. So I don't know. So again, bear with me there. I think it's going to be better. Because one of the things is it takes a weight off of me not having to prep as hard for the show and not have to do as much research. All day long. So, if you're looking to do more, if you're looking to do something positive with your life, join us. Help spread the word. I don't think you'll be sorry. I don't think there's any greater calling than what we're doing. Oh, and I know where I was going. So the Watchmen are going to have that role of spreading the word of the way, but we're also going to maintain our role as watchmen to make sure this never happens again. That when we see it rear its ugly head, we're going to be there to cut that head off. That's where I was going to go. So anyway, you want to do good. You want to be proud of what you're doing. I'm proud of what I do every day. I'm not ashamed to say it. It's really, when you're not getting paid, you got to take it where you can get it. And it is worth everything that I've sacrificed, guys. And that's why I want to talk to you about our challenge. I want to challenge everyone who sees this. Try living your life like Jesus wanted us to live our lives. The way. Do the right thing every day. Tell the truth every day. No matter what you think the consequences might be. I'm going to tell you, we've been talking about this a lot because I think it's an important point. Sometimes we make excuses. We're going to do the wrong thing, but really we're trying to do the right thing, but we're going to tell a little white lie or whatever. That's not what God wants. That's not the right thing to do. Tell the truth all the time. You'll find out, well, I don't want to tell the truth because they're going to get upset or whatever, and then, there's going to be a fight, and you'll be amazed. You will be amazed. Not only, and when you tell people, hey, I'm going to tell you this honestly because I think I just don't want to hide this from you. You'll be amazed the reception you get. And then it's not the blow up you thought it was going to be, and you're going to feel a lot better about what you just did. And then what you find out when you start doing that consistently, how it comes back to you. When you do the right things, it comes back to you. It comes back to you in the feeling that you get. And there's nothing in the world. I could make $1 million doing this. Whatever. Anything. It doesn't compare. I said the other night, I've been lucky, blessed. I got to rodeo for almost 40 years, ride bucking horses. I mean, the average career is less than 10 years. 39 years I rode bucking horses. Living the dream. It was awesome. And I accomplished some stuff. When I look back at that nearly 40 years of my life, it's insignificant. It doesn't compare in the least that 40 years to my last 5 years. No comparison. I wish I could have more of the last 5 years, the feeling I got. It's you can't top it. It's amazing. And then again, when you get into it and you commit your life to this, commit your life to it for a week and see how much better you feel at the end of the week. And I'll guarantee you'll be hooked. That's the thing about the way. There's no rules here. When you're doing the right thing every day, you're telling the truth, and we all pretty much know the difference between right and wrong, and you're doing the right thing every time, you can't knock this. We're going to get attacked. I've already been attacked. Bring it. You legitimately cannot, because listen, you want to read the Bible? Read the Bible. You want to go to church? Go to church. Keep living your life the way. God, let me tell you something. God's not happy with the church. Not happy with the Catholic Church. Really not happy with any church. Not happy about how people use the Bible as a billy club to attack people with. That's not what the Bible was meant for. I have no problem with people taking comfort with the Bible. But there's a lot of those same people that are attacking what we're doing. You can't legitimately attack the way. And this isn't my church. Don't misunderstand what I'm doing here. I'm a messenger. I don't want to be the Pope. I don't want to be a bishop. I am starting this thing, and it's going to take on a life of its own. And when it does, I can just live my life however I want. This thing is going to take hold. The reason, the timing of this is not an accident. It's not a coincidence. God, think about this. The Catholic Church is coming down this year from the inside. The Catholic Church is going to come down. God wants the way to be there to fill the void when the Catholic Church comes down. That's our message. And wait till you see what happens. Because this is what people are looking for. I know people that won't go to church anymore because of what happens at church. Church is not a building in the way. We are the church. Wherever we are is the church. Wherever we're doing God's work is the church. It's around us every day. It's the world is the church. Knock it. Attack me. I'm here. I'm waiting. You can't. You can't, because how do you knock it? You're going to do the right thing every time. You're going to put others first. You're going to live your life in the service of others. And you're going to try and attack it? Compare it to any religion out there. Compare it to any religion out there. You know why this is so much better? Because it's pure. You know, there's a reason that I haven't taken a dime, a penny, for anything I've done. Because I didn't want anybody to question why I was doing this. When your motives are pure, those attacks are like water off a duck's back. You can't knock this. You can't legitimately knock this. It's what Jesus wanted. This is God's church. This is God's pure church. Not corrupted by man. Not corrupted by money. As pure as it gets. And the reason that God wants Watchmen accumulating physical silver and Litecoin is because we're going to use these tools to build the foundation of the way. That's what we're doing here, guys. Listen, I can't do any better than that. Be positive. Be good to each other. I'll see you tomorrow night at 5. Remember, fear not. God and President Trump are 1,000% in control. God bless.